Gracias. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here to support Kat. Right now, we're getting organized. We're trying to gather people. Um, so if you guys could take a minute to retweet any of the retweets, any of the tweets that we have put out for the space, that would be so great. Because I know that I can't keep track of everything that's going on, and I miss many things, and feel like I missed almost everything because it's a lot of information. So if you guys can just remind in the sea of stuff that this beautiful space is happening right now, that would be wonderful. Because this is a special day for Kat, and we wanna gather our little group to support her. Thank you. Gracias, Roberto, por venir, Diego. Misha, ya pronunciando bien tu nombre. Bueno, Kat, ¿pusiste todo lo que quieres poner en el pin tweet?
Sí, todo está ahí, y pues un poquito más de lo que se vaya generando de lo que tú me preguntes.
Bueno. Bueno, lo que quiero hacer, quería que empezáramos, bueno, primero que todo les voy a contar que vamos a darle el tiempo necesario y dejar fluir esto como fluja. Y tengo unas preguntas para Kat, pero para traducir en inglés, we're gonna let it flow. And I have some questions for Kat, and really looking forward to hearing about this prayer. Kat está un poquito enferma, tiene un poquito de fiebre, y a mí me resultó un problema técnico con mi galería, pero creo que no voy a tener que ir a resolver eso. Nos vamos a enfocar en esto, pero no sé si hagamos por ahí 1 hora o 1 hora y media lo que necesitamos. ¿Ok? Y pensé que podríamos empezar con ustedes subiendo un momentico a darle un saludo a Kat, un apoyo y una pequeña presentación de cada uno. So what I'm saying is that I would like to start the space by having each of you come up. I mean, you're not obligated to, but if you want to, come up just briefly to say hello, show your support for Kat, and share a little something about yourself. And yeah, and then we'll get going here. Hello, Kim. Thank you so much for being here. I just while everybody gets their courage to join us, if you want, Kim, I wanted to tell you that we're sharing and retweeting the space so that we can get other people joining. We also I just also offered to open the microphone for whoever wants to come up and just show a little support to Kat and share a little bit about yourself, and just a short introduction so that then we can get started with the space as we get a room of people. So you're all invited. Okay. Sounds like Misha wants to come up. Misha is up already, so we have to give him the microphone. Hey, Kat, do I have the capacity?
I already have the microphone.
Oh, you do. You already have it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as Kat mentioned, I think I was the first to buy one of her NFTs, and been following her work since the beginning, of course. So I'm really happy to see the beautiful new work she's put out, and I think it's a collection that's really close to her in the sense that she's really trying to open up from a personal perspective. So I really appreciate that. I am curious about the meaning of the collection to you, Kat. So I'd love to ask you about that. I'd love to ask you about the meaning of the title, whether the prayer is a religious concept for you or whether it has a different meaning. And I'm curious about what the mask means to you. I'm also very thankful because Kat actually allowed me to be the first owner of an image from this collection. So very happy with that. And I think it's also really cool to see that she's figured out technically how to make her own contract and is really investing in her own knowledge base about how NFTs work, how contracts work. So she's further along than I am in that regard. And I really hope that more people will get their eyes on this collection because it's so beautiful and it really speaks to me from an aesthetic point of view as well because it's quite a minimalist collection in a sense, and I think it's beautiful. I think the clothes she picked for this collection and the contrast it delivers in the pretty minimalist room you're in is just really gorgeous. So aside from the probably personal meaning it has to you from an aesthetic perspective, I think it's just a gorgeous collection, and I'm very curious to learn how or what the collection means to you, Kat.
Thank
Oh,
you, Ishka, so much for those words. And Kat, um, you don't have to answer that question right now, but please answer it. We're gonna cover it. I just want to have everybody go through and show their words of support. I don't know who else is gonna come up. Maybe it's just Misha for now, um, but go ahead, Kat. I'm just saying, don't get fully into it right now as we start the space and go into it.
thank you, Marta. Well, I think if somebody knows about how have been working this collection is maybe Misha, because we talk a lot and he knows how hard it's been for me to try to find my voice as an artist, and mainly because this space, NFT space, is so different for me from where I come. That is a performance in live in a theater, and I have been learning, trying to learn what is different in this space to create a better art that can be understand for the people, that can um mean something for the people. So this collection is like the first step for me to try to find my own voice, to try to be myself, to try to be an artist in all the what the word means, in all the meanings that word can have. Um, and was this collection comes from a very dark life, or from a very dark space in my life where I was really, really lost. I really sorry.
Kat,
Somebody's calling me.
uh,
I'm here. Yeah, somebody's calling me.
Kat.
So it cuts my words. I'm here. You listen to me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. So I was in a very dark part of my life because I was lost. I didn't know how to. This person seems not
Kat,
to understand. I cannot answer right
let-
now.
let's Kat, let's do this. Let's do this because I wanna hang on
Okay.
anyway, and get you started after you get a quick hello and yeah, and some questions for people to put on the table, and then I have a little plan for us and a and a structure that I planned. So don't get into it too much, anyways, right now, because while other people present, um, more
Yes.
people are gonna arrive, so you can present your project better once we have a few more people,
Yes.
maybe. So don't worry that the person is interrupting you. Just hang on to that. Espérate, tú entendiste todo eso, ¿no,
Sí, sí, sí,
Kat?
entendí. Me espero
Okay.
entonces.
Y tranquila y respira y deja que te saluden y te apoyen y ahora en un momentico yo empiezo mi presentación y seguimos con todo lo que vas a compartir. Okay. Thank you, Mishka. So, Misha, forgive me. Misha, I have to train myself now to pronounce your name differently, correctly. So thank you so much. That is really the question. That is a really, really great question, and we will get back. We'll get back to it. Roberto, did you want to say something?
Hey, hola. Buenos
Hola,
días.
Roberto. Mucho gusto.
Hi. Hola, Kat. Yeah, so I'm just saying hello. I got the opportunity to witness the process as I know Kat in real life, and we discussed even some of the questions the project put on the table, and yeah, I'm just glad uh, how she's I think like unraveling more and more her sensibility and taking more space in the production of the pieces. And yeah, it's a sight to see her evolution. And yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, definitely. This is you're really right now in a moment, Kat, where you're putting yourself out there. Te lanzaste. Ok. Bueno, gracias, Roberto. Muchas gracias. Yo no veo aquí porque dice, ok. Is that everybody that's going to come up right now? It's okay, guys. You're not obligated. You can join later too after she presents. Muchas gracias, Ile Design. Welcome. I don't know if I'm not seeing your name fully. Welcome to the space. Okay, Kat. Felicidades. Um, este es un gran día para ti. Um, um, maybe I speak. People tell me, you want me to speak in Spanish or in English? Spanish. Give me your thumbs up. Oh, actually, Kat, ¿quieres que lo haga en español o en inglés? Estoy mirando más o menos cómo está el grupo.
Si quieres, puede ser en inglés y si tengo dudas o algo, te pregunto. ¿Te late?
Bueno, yo de todas formas voy a ir así para allá y para allá porque yo pienso en los dos idiomas y contigo tengo esa relación así en español también. Entonces, bueno. So, bueno, presento a Kat. I'm introducing Kat, although es Catalina Castilla, ¿no? La conocemos como Kat. Creo que tiene que ver con los 7 gatos. Is it 7? 7 cats?
14 cats. I
Oh,
have
14.
14.
So it's 14. So it's double the life, double the life of cats. Te felicitamos, te recibimos con este momento tan especial. We're receiving you in this momentous time of the launch of your collection. I have also witnessed the process of that you described in in one of your Instagram stories, which are really quite something. If people haven't seen that, she described it as I don't know if you said that it was like climbing Mount Everest. Um, but as Misha said, you have done something that some of us haven't done yet, to do your own contract and all of that, and you're here, and this is a very special collection. We're all very curious about it. I feel like this is the collection about manifesting dreams. I saw Kat. I saw some of her dreams come to fruition as soon as she minted this collection. No sé si puedo compartir algunas de esas cosas, Kat. Tú me dices.
Sí, adelante, adelante.
Okay. So as soon as she minted this, the one thing that I remember is that her, I don't know if it's her boss or somebody that she works with, gave her a bonus, and she was able to go and buy her computer. She was borrowing her computer from her sister and a friend, and now she's got her own computer. And it was amazing. Like, there were other things. So I think this is the collection about manifesting dreams, and of course, with a very intriguing title, the prayer. So we're very curious about that, as Misha mentioned. And I also just will mention that Kat and I came together very fluidly. But I would say that the sensibility that we share is the relationship between the body and space. And, lo que nos atrajo es el movimiento del cuerpo en el espacio, un entendimiento y sensibilidad de esta dinámica, que para mí es como ser parte de un dibujo que es la vida, un proceso que está continuamente formándose y en transformación. So this idea of the body in space, and the body the sensibility that we share, and for us, it being, for me, I guess I'll say it, the body is like, it's like a drawing of, we are part of a drawing of life, and it's a process that's continuously forming and reforming. And hello, Ni Petrov, thank you so much for coming. Excited that you're here in this space to support Kat and to be part of this conversation. También, without, see, I have to say this in Spanish because it will make a lot of sense in Spanish, and then I'll translate it to English. Y sin saber, sabiendo, tenemos en común la espiritualidad. That is, without knowing and knowing both, the spirituality is this common thread. So I am very honored that Kat asked me to do this for her, um, um, to be her support and guide the conversation as she unveils her collection. Ok, Kat, primero que todo, cuéntanos cómo llegaste aquí. ¿Por qué escogiste este medio de expresión? ¿Por qué bailas? ¿Por qué tienes esa, para mí, bella estética de espacio? Kat is going to tell us how she got here, why she chose this medium of expression, movement, dance, and also why she has this beautiful aesthetic of space. Kat.
Thank you, Marta. And first of all, I want to thank you because you joined when I asked you to present the work, and I'm so honored that you accept, because as you say, we share things as spirituality, and we have become very, very good friends. And the most important, and you are an amazing artist that I admire, so this is an honor for me. And who I am? Well, I'm here because a friend told me about NFT. I didn't know what that was, so I started learning what an NFT was. And at the first, something that I have learned here in the space is that I'm always, or most of the time, I'm lost. I don't know. I didn't know how to enter the space because I say, like, I don't have a collection. I wasn't dancing at that time and on stage because pandemics was so hard on me, and I lost everything. As Marta say, I didn't have a computer to work. I have to ask for a computer. I didn't have a cell phone, so somebody give me a cell phone. I was in a very, 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 very bad situation in that moment. But I was lucky because many friends, well, not many, some of my best friends helped me a lot and give me the tools in knowledge and in physics so I can work. So I entered the space knowing nothing, and I entered the space even didn't know what to do here because I studied marketing, so I was like maybe I can be doing marketing here. Maybe I can do some collections. So I was totally lost. So finally, I listened to my inner voice, and I was like, this is a space to share my art. Because right now, as I, apart from the stage since the pandemics, I have this need inside of me of creating. I have this need inside of me of keep dancing. As dance, it's been like a lifesaver for me. I have mentioned this in some spaces that I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue some years, a long years ago. So when they told me I have to change my lifestyle, I discovered dance, and dance healed me. So, in this time where I wasn't creating, I was feeling like not myself. Through dance, I discovered myself. So, I had to come back to that. And so, I wasn't able to come back to stage right now, like in that moment, because I was in a very, very bad economical, emotional, psychological situation because of the pandemic. So when this friend told me about this possibility of NFT space, I took it. So I tried with two collections before that maybe you don't know them, but one was a photo collection with a friend that is a dancer also, and that one doesn't didn't sell anything. In fact, we haven't sold an NFT from that collection, and it's okay. It was the first one. We were trying to experiment in what to do here, and was like the first step to enter the space. No, after that, I decided to set a collection with dances that I had in my power from the past. And one of them was Rabo de Nube, that my first collector, Misha, collect, and he helped me to give me hope to see that this space can be an option for me, and that maybe I have a chance here. So I'm so grateful with Misha because he always support me, not only as a collector, but also as a friend. He always listening to me when I'm down. And in the process of creating this one, the prayer, he was with me all the time. I was like, I don't know what to do. I feel like I cannot do anything. I feel like I cannot create. I'm not good enough. And Misha was like, have to trust yourself. You can do it. I have faith in you. So I'm so grateful with Misha for all his words. And well, that is what I am. I don't know if you want to add something else.
You paused right at the right moment because I wanted to interject right there and say that you are like a light, Cat, and you are a very positive person, and um, and optimistic, and you see the possibilities, and I think um, yeah, um, I'm surprised. Well, anyway, it's interesting to it's really beautiful to see and hear about all the support behind all of that. I really want to hang on to something that you have expressed many times before, which really stayed with me, and to me is the clearest thing um, about the birth um, of this mode of expression, and that is the healing part. As I recall, you talked about um, being told by a doctor that movement would keep you alive, and you took that on as a way of of being alive, which I think it's amazing, and I think it ties, I think, into this prayer as well, and it ties into life in general. Um, and um, um, and it's funny that anyway today I know you're not in your highest. Um, I know that you're under the weather and have a little bit of fever, so it's a little bit hard. Um, that's that's happening, but it also speaks to the how big this feels to you. Kat, cuéntanos, para mí, y los voy a tener en suspenso porque yo sé que Misha, I know we all want to know about the prayer, but I want to keep that part in a little bit of suspense for a moment. Um, um, quería empezar por lo de la máscara blanca. Para mí, I've just been very intrigued by this white mask. Um, and also because it's a mask, the space is white as well, and it's a beautiful white space with some light shining into it, like we were just talking about the light and you being this light. There's this light shining into the space, and it's very subtle, these subtle moments where the light transforms this whiteness, and then you're wearing this white mask, and at times it's like we don't even see the mask disappears, it blends into this white space. um sí, ¿no? Es como si la máscara se desapareciera. ¿Me estás siguiendo, Kat?
Sí, 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 sí. Sí.
Espacio, ¿no? Entonces, cuéntanos de eso. Y también en relación a, in relationship to a quote from your collection, which says, by hiding the face, we release the voice of the body. So just if you could go from there into this whiteness and this play with white and disappearing. Tell us.
Thank you, Marta. Yes, while I was working with my body as a dancer, I discovered there was many ways to approach the movement. One of them was I had the chance to study with a very beautiful and powerful mime here in Monterrey, in Mexico. He introduced me to the corporal dramatic mime and to many kinds of techniques that has to do with the use of mask, like the neutral mask, the Larvarian mask, and also I took something Commedia dell'arte that is more like interpretation, and those are all those techniques has to do with the chance for the person or the performer to let the body speak by itself. So it's something that I was called by for this collection, because in the moment I wanted to create this collection, my body didn't want to move. I was like teaching yoga classes, and I was teaching dance classes, but in the moment I wanted to create something, my body just stopped. It didn't want to move. It was like a silence in my body. So I decided to listen to the silence. I decided to let it be, to let the body be, and I discovered that move me, have the motion in a slow pace. It was challenge, because moving faster is easy is for say something, but moving slowly requires more attention and requires more technical and requires more control. So when I was moving slowly, one day I was like, I really need my body to be free. I don't know what is holding it back, but I really need to free them, to free it. So I remember my practice in corporal, dramatic corporal mime. So I remember my training, and I say like, I can't recall the freedom my body felt when I use the mask. So maybe I have to return to the mask. Maybe I have to return to silence the face so my body can become something. When we dance, I don't know if it's for everything is the same, but when we dance, we transform in something different. It's like you can dance like yourself. I can dance like Catalina. I can dance like start moving and improvising maybe and start moving like myself. But most of the time when you are working in choreographic performance, the choreographer often of the time asks you to transform in something. So for me was a need to transform in something, and I needed something that helped me to transform. So I have these friends mimes that has many masks and I was talking with him about this particular mask that I saw him using in a workshop. So I was remembered that I used it, that mask, and that the mask, the mimes say that the mask talk to you. So you have to connect to the mask and you have to ask the mask with respect and with honoring the mask what the mask want to tell you. So I remember that mask made me think, because the mask I have, it was a Larvarian mask that has no eyes. It's only a very, very, very a small hole where you can almost not see anything. That in fact helps you to liberate the body, because you are not looking the space and not looking to your partners, but you are feeling the space and feeling the partner, so feeling the body also. So I remember that mask, and I asked to him to borrow me that mask, because that mask in particular has 3 mouths in the design. So when I asked the mask what it wants to tell me, I say he because he is a he. He told me he want me to pray. And as dance become a lifesaver for me, praying and looking the spiritual side of myself has saved me also. So I decided to listen to the mask and pray. So when they asked me to pray, I remember that when I pray, or for me pray, and I have been sharing this in Twitter with the collection, and for me it's like a kind of meditation, and you have to be in a place you can pray like saying something and repeating something. I don't know, and I pray like, Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, que estás en el, I just speak. But if you don't feel it, I think that is useless. So you can pray with all your heart, with all your body, with all your mind. You need to be in a space of solitude. I need in a space of silence, like a meditation, kind of a meditation. So that's why I select the space in white, because I want to project that. Because number one, I want to have to give that feeling of emptiness, of silence to the person that look to the NFT. And second, because I wanted to the body to talk. And sometimes when you have many elements in the space, you can miss the message of the body. So selecting that mask and selecting the spacing in white was because I think was a form of transmit my message, to send my message and say, like, this is what I feel when I'm praying. And that's it.
Thank you, Kat. So beautiful. I want to hang on to the quote, silence the face, and I'm looking right here. Ile Design. We're gonna let you up in a minute, but silence the face so the body can become. That is so clear and so beautiful, and it references the whole thing references the prayer, the that moment of and also the larval mask, which I understand as a beginning. It also references this manifesting and the beginning, and also the launching of yourself with this project. So um, this this transformation, actually, which is actually what funny, because when I started to speak about the way that we have come together, I spoke about how we have this commonology in the idea um, of on this sensibility about body and space, and for me about this idea of us being continuously in transformation. But here you are doing a piece which is about them, about manifesting, excuse me, the prayer, right? A prayer, but a prayer that is a prayer, because I will share that for me, um, when I feel it in my heart, it's like the next day it happens. But it's, you have to get yourself in that place where you feel it in your heart. I you know, you can say, you can pray, you can repeat it. It doesn't happen. But yeah, very beautiful, this thing about the white, the mass, the space in white, the quiet, to get into the heart, the transformation, the emerging. And I want to allow you're in there already as a speaker. Jump in and let us know what it is that that inspire you to jump into the space. Ela Design. Am I saying your name wrong? In the purple face.
Hi, nice to meet you, ambas, Kat, Catalina, Marta.
Thank you.
um,
Here. What's your name?
my name is Ile or Desi,
Ile,
wherever.
gracias. Ok, compártanos.
Okay. Bueno, I will speak in Spanish, maybe because my English is is muy poor, very poor.
Tranquilo.
So, nada, lo que digo que, bueno, ¿vos podés traducirlo, Marta?
Sí, claro.
Ok,
Claro.
perfecto, perfecto. Acá Ile, bueno, en mi real life trabajé mucho tiempo en artes escénicas, entonces cuando veo estas propuestas me súper interesan y bueno, y subo a los spaces y si puedo aportar. Estaba viendo el trabajo que estaba haciendo Camila y nada, es brutal. Primero por las máscaras, porque soy súper fan de las máscaras. Eh, he hecho, coordiné talleres donde hicimos máscaras más que todo expresivas, tal vez ella las conoce, que es un tipo de máscaras también. En este caso, el uso de la máscara larvaria. No la conocía tan alargada como las máscaras larvarias que he conocido, son como más ovaladas y en este caso vi que le habías hecho como unas protuberancias. Pero más allá de eso, me parece súper interesante el uso de la máscara para descubrir, ¿no? Lo que llevamos dentro. También practiqué con máscaras como realizadora, como realizadora y como performer, pero solamente para explorar, para sentir lo que, ese poder que tienen las máscaras en sí. Y lo súper veo ahí reflejado en el video que pude ver y un par de fotos que había subido. No entiendo si están minteadas en Foundation o no, o las estás preparando. Nada, felicitaciones. Y, y cómo fue esa experiencia de usar las máscaras larvarias en, en tiempo, ¿no? ¿Cómo fue ese proceso? Quería preguntarle a Camila.
Hola, Hilo. Soy
Hola.
Catalina.
Ah, Camila, perdón, Catalina, discúlpame,
Catalina.
yo sí, tengo la dislexia.
No te
Disculpa.
preocupes. Voy a hablar.
Ok,
I want to speak a little in English and in Spanish because Misha
bien,
doesn't speak Spanish, so I want him to understand. Uh, and the process. She asked me about the process of using the mask. Oh,
claro. Ok, digamos, cómo llegaste a la larvaria, digamos, en
oh,
tu,
en mi
digamos,
práctica general.
exacto.
Oh,
Ujú,
okay. How I get to the larvarian mask in my practice in general. I was a student like I don't know how to say like a formation in mime, una formación en mimo, like an education in mime techniques. So my teacher Daniel Ontiveros, he bring this teacher from the center of our country, from San Luis, and he brings us the technique. So we start, and that is something that maybe you understand me to appreciate the mask, because you have to make the mask. You have to work. In fact, I in this one I wasn't made by me, was made by a friend. But the second one I'm working on, the next collection that is called the Flower Maker, that I have to do my mask. So I have to have the I don't know how to say clay. I think it's clay, el barro, the clay. I have to work with my hands. The mask, I have to work with paper. I have to paint the mask. I have to do all the process. So there is a value in the mask in itself. It's not only the movement you have and you work, but also the power of making and power and giving you energy to the object that is the mask. So I get to this workshop because of my training in mime, and I was amazed how this kind of training connect with my dance training, and how enrich my dance training, because it's like free the body. It's like silence. I don't know. I think it's like a meditation for me. Like silence the mind and let the body to talk. You want to say something, Hilo?
Si me das un momentico, ¿puedo traducir algo de lo que dijo
sí,
Mil?
porfa, Marta, sí.
Sí, ok. Y después sigues. Gracias, Kat. Algo que dijo Milu para traducir. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm translating to English. Okay. Just want to translate something that Milo. Oh, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Is it Ilo? No?
Es Ile designia.
Ile,
Puedes decirme Ile o Desi.
Ile or Desi.
O Desi.
Odesi. Okay. So I want to translate something that Ile Odesi shared about Kat's work. She just the main thing that Kat didn't end up I mean Kat responded, but the main things about what Ile Odesi said is how the amazement of finding out through the mask what is inside of us, the realization this is really beautiful to me, and I wanted to emphasize it, is the mask as a realizer and performer, to feel the power that that the mask encompass. And I think that now I'll just go for it. Añádanos lo demás. No sé si cubrí lo más importante, aunque tenías otras preguntas, pero yo creo que Kat ya las respondió.
Sí, entendí, sí, a ver si me decís, Marta, que Catalina, ella primero probó con sus propias manos, como con esto, con arcilla o barro, como lo mencionaba, de hacer máscaras con papel y pintarlas, y luego, cuando se las probó, ahí pudo ver el poder que tienen las máscaras todas, ¿no? Pero en este caso las larvarias también, al no tener casi expresión, es una expresión muy subjetiva. Entiendo que es lo que dijo. ¿Está bien?
Sí, es exacto eso.
Ujú,
Es muy, muy subjetivo. La máscara te habla. The mask speaks to you.
ujú, re,
Y tiene su propia personalidad, has its own personality,
ujú,
its own voice, its own way to move, its own way to act. O sea, tiene su único y muy particular manera de ser, de actuar, de moverse. Entonces dejas que te hable. So that is the process I follow and is the process I'm going to follow in the next collection. I am trying to listen to the mask, what it has to say to me, what it is, what it wants to, how it wants to move, what kind of clothes it needs, everything it goes from the mask.
It is amazing. Kat, entonces, este baile, esta danza que vos haces en lo que estás presentando, ¿es lo que te habló la máscara? ¿O ya tenías predeterminado unos pasos o un acorio, por así decirlo?
No sé si quieras traducir, Marta, y luego contesto. ¿Cómo ves?
Estaba tomando notas, perdón. Repítalo, por favor.
Sí, Marta. Lo que le quería preguntar a Catalina es si en este como proceso de que la máscara habla, que súper acuerdo, porque a mí me ha pasado igual cuando las pude utilizar, eh, este acorio, por así decirlo, que ella está fotografiando, es en base a lo que le dijo la máscara, cuando en esta conexión de que te habla la máscara. Esa sería mi pregunta.
Sí, interesante porque yo estaba también aquí formulando mi propia pregunta, también relacionado al mismo tema. Okay, I was actually formulating a question as well about the mask because it's so interesting as Ilo was asking, does the mask speak? And so is the work a result of what the mask says? Correcto?
Yes. Yes, it's about what the mask says. It's like a work where I practice with the mask, I talk with the mask, I let the mask answer me, and I have not like something set, like choreographically set, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I move that arm and I move this leg. It wasn't set, but before I record the video, I work with the movement. I have to become the prayer, to move as the prayer. So I have to work with with what the mass was telling me about the way it prays, not the way I pray, but also is like a merge between the mass way to pray and my way to pray, because it's me in the end. But it's like wasn't set the movement. Was like I was practicing with the mask and I was practicing myself becoming the prayer. And when we record and when we took the photos, was the prayer speaking. So the practice of the training or the preparation for the collection is trying to let the character fit in you, to let you, I don't know how to say it, que te llene el personaje.
That it fulfills you.
Yes, exactly. That is the work I have doing with the second collection I'm preparing. Is like I want the mask to tell me how it wants to move, how it wants to be dressed, how it wants to be acting. It's like becoming somebody. It's because these mime techniques and these mask techniques has too much with theater, con el teatro. Tienen que ver mucho con el teatro, with actor and actor training. So that's why it's like my dance training becomes a tool to let my body speak and becomes a tool to have more language. But in fact, the actor training with the mask and with the process of creation the character, of creation of the character, is what make the move, is what make the way the prayer move. I don't know if this answer, no sé si contesta tu pregunta, Ile.
Marta, ¿podrías hacer un resumen?
Ay, yo lo iba a hacer como en inglés, pero espérate. Es como que la máscara es un
Si quieres, yo lo traduzco más.
yo dejo que tú lo traduzcas. Yo lo que quería decir es que la máscara habla, ¿no?
Claro.
Se convierte en un instrumento, en un vehículo. Pero yo dejo que Kat lo explique en español porque ella
Gracias.
bien. Sí.
Sí.
No,
Sí. En resumen, básicamente el entrenamiento, la preparación para la colección consiste en convertirme en el personaje que la máscara me está hablando. Entonces, en este caso en particular y con las colecciones que estoy tratando de armar para lo siguiente, dejo que la máscara me llene por completo, dejo que la máscara me convierta por completo en ese personaje. Y como viene este entrenamiento, viene más de técnicas actorales, digamos que mi técnica o mi trabajo dancístico me apoya para que tenga mucho más riqueza el movimiento. Sin embargo, lo que estoy haciendo es como agarrar una técnica de actores y hacerme un personaje y dejar que el personaje completamente se mueva, hable, se vista y tenga el espacio necesario para expresar su mensaje. That's it.
Gracias.
Me encanta. Gracias, Catalina. Tengo unos minutos más porque debo ir a otro space. Quería invitarlas a ambas, a Catalina y a Marta, que también sé que hace exploración performática. Hosteo un space que se llama Impactado, que es cada 15 días, y la temática que vamos a tratar el 30 de septiembre, que cae viernes, es la performance. Entonces, tenemos un invitado que se llama Beta, que es mexicano y también trabaja en Perfo.
Lo conocí.
Perfecto, bien. Y nada, y quería saber si ustedes dos quisieran venir para completar la lista de 3 invitados y poder también mostrar y visibilizar este trabajo que estás haciendo, Catalina, y obviamente, Marta, también lo que vos haces.
Gracias por la invitación. Claro, estamos conectadas y
Yes.
conectamos y seguimos ese plan.
Perfecto.
Miramos el
Dale.
calendario.
Ujú.
Qué bueno conectar, y qué lindo que estés aquí.
No, ustedes, está hermosísimo. La verdad que me encantó esto, lo de bueno, las poses, la perfo, el uso de la máscara, sobre todo la de que usen la larvaria. Me parece que tiene una conexión súper, súper mega. Y bueno, todas las máscaras, pero las larvarias y las neutras también, ¿no? Tienen algo parecido. Así que re celebro cuando veo este tipo de arte acá en la Web3. Así que me despido. Gracias Marta por haberlo compartido el space en mujeres, que ahí lo vi. Y gracias Catalina, los que están en el space. Voy a otro, a
mil
otro space y hablamos por DM.
Gracias,
¿Sí?
Ile, gracias.
A ustedes, gracias.
I'm going to just translate really quickly. Ile invited us to be part of a performance space, and Beta, one of our colleagues that we interact with, is going to be there as well. So she connected to this through a women's group that I'm in. So you're still there. Gracias por estar aquí, por conectar. Qué lindo la conexión. Traduciéndole para que los que no entienden español se sientan orientados también. Gracias, mil gracias por atender. I think Roberto wanted to say something, but and I wanted to say something before we get Roberto on, and I wanted to get back to Misha's question. Um, I'm just sort of like trying to formulate. It's so much. It's so beautiful, Kat. It's just really this mask thing and what you're doing with it. It's really so layered and so powerful in a very um in a very like you said, in a very quiet like space, in a very quiet way. And that's what and Misha mentioned at the beginning too, that this collection is so clean, is so quiet, right? It gets you to that space of clarity. And but just thinking about the mask, does the mask speak? That's what the mask is for what I'm taking, or what I want to try to articulate about what you're sharing is um, the mask is a mask. It conceals, but it also reveals. You know, it's a facilitator. And what does that mean? And I'm just left also with the question. I'm trying to, this is something maybe we can continue on later, but as a, you know, my background is in architecture, and so we talk about facades, like the facade of a building, and that's the presentation to the outside of what this space is. But then what's happening in the space is what happens in the space. It's a similar concept, um, but can be equally layered. And um, it's very beautiful that you're working with a mask that has to do with you know, even the word, it's the larva, it's beginning, it's emerging. And so um, it's about um, it's about revealing so many possibilities. Roberto, querías decir algo?
Yeah, just quickly about the mask. I think it's a device. It's a symbolic device
Mm,
that anchors a kind of vacuum in the person who's wearing it,
mm-hmm,
and so it actually facilitates space, and in that space, in that vacuum, we become receptive to psychodynamics that are like beyond the ones that are deployed but by our ego on a day-by-day basis. So it actually, yeah, helps us enter a space of connection, of mediation with something beyond ourselves, and it's a beautiful function. That emptying of the self, it's kind of almost like an antenna, maybe, right? That if it furthers a reception with something more mysterious, more deep.
I was writing all of that because that is so beautifully put. Um, yeah, thank you. And it goes back to my
Thank
question
you.
about the mask and the space both being white. And so then you get to how the mask opens. Through the mask, we enter the space. And I love this also reference of it being an antenna. Um, how do we, um, Misha, do you want to put your question back on the table, which was about the kind of spirituality that this prayer entails, correctly?
Um, yeah, I feel like Kat has
It's
mostly answered my question already, really. But yeah, my question was about whether the prayer was a religious concept to Kat, or whether it was more of a spiritual aspect to it, or whether she had a different take on it. And I feel like she's answered that already.
yeah,
And I think it's also up to or open to interpretation to the viewer, probably. Um, but yeah, I feel like she's already answered that question,
yeah,
but
yeah,
maybe she has something else to say about it.
yeah. I agree. I agree. I think it's been answered throughout the discussion. But Kat, please, if you want to add something else to that, just in the way that Misha had framed it.
Yes, thank you. I think the prayer doesn't have like a particular religion. As I think, I was raised like a Catholic, but right now in this stage of my life, I'm like a eclectic thing that believes in Buddha and also believes in metaphysics and also meditate and also likes to go to the church because I really likes the I don't know how to say that in English, but the costumes or the behaviors or the things that the church, Catholic Church does,
The
like
rituals,
this. Exactly. The rituals. Well, that eh, the rituals the Catholic Church has because I was raised like a Catholic, so I really enjoy going to the church and lighting a candle or maybe I don't know praying the to Holy Mary. I don't know that's things I really enjoy, but also there are other things that are seems like more spiritual than maybe the Catholic Church is not like accepting that kind of things. Like for example, I'm a yoga instructor, and somebody told me that yoga is from devil, that is from the demon, that I don't know, and that I shouldn't do that. But I think it's like a mix of things. So the prayer, and in fact, the character doesn't have a religious specific orientation, but it's like I think in every religion or in every spiritual practice, everyone prays in some way. And for me, praying is not like I said it before, but it's not like saying specific words. It's like connects with that, with something higher, that with a light. I have been in a very difficult situation in my life from many ways. So I learned that the only thing that I have always somebody, an energy, I don't know what it is, but a God for me is what I call him, a God that is always looking over me. And I learned in through my life that I don't have to ask for anything, because that energy or that God knows exactly what I need. So I'm always pray like a way to honor that light, or a way to just to honor that light, and to with gratitude in my heart. So I think that is where the mask and myself merge, because I didn't want to give to the character a specific religion or a specific way of praying, or style or religion to pray, but I want him to be. I listened to him, and I think he told me he wants him to be somebody who prays from a place of silence, from a place of peace, from a place of love, and from a place of emptiness, that make him feels connected with the source. So that is what the prayer is. It's like a praise to the light, a praise to the Lord, and a praise to whatever you want to call it. It's like with gratitude in my heart, and send a message of there is a higher self, a higher life, or something bigger than I. And also, I was sharing in my Twitters that I have this like a mix of belief, because my grandfather was a mason, a master mason, in the level of 33, that is the highest level they can achieve. So I remember him. The image I have from him is him sitting, meditating every morning at dawn, at sunrise, and was always praying as his style. He was like an om, and he told me, he teach me about the I am, the power that I am, because the source of the light of the higher self, whatever you want to call it, is like the power of know that the divine is inside us. So I grew up with that, and also with my grandma that was so Catholic that he has the saints all over the place in the house, and also I have this figure that she gave me. Santo Niño de Atocha is a saint, and he is in the altar here, in the familiar altar, and I remember her lighting the candle and praying to the saint and talking to him. So I'm a mix. I put in the tweet before. I'm a sum of everything I have lived before.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I feel like in that question too, it took me to the way that you had expressed something before. Um, at one point during your presentation, you actually prayed the prayers that we do in the Catholic Church. And I'll translate it to English, like, "Our Father who art in heaven, our kingdom come, thy would be done." The prayer, the very repetitive prayer. And I can share that for me, having a similar experience, also having grown up as a Catholic. um, I felt like those prayers were very repetitive. The way you said it was like, like, in a way it's like you don't even know what you're saying. And I grew up with that, like, and I feel like there's a comparison of that to also just life in general. In life in general, we can go and move in life without being aware of really what we're doing. We're in this kind of like um, automatic mode. I'm not saying that that way of praying is incorrect. I'm just saying that maybe sometimes it is done in a way similarly to the way that we also live life, which might be the way that sometimes or some people live life, that is a kind of atomization, and it doesn't have the quality of quiet and of awareness and of connection, which, as you have been expressing, the mask facilitates. The mask becomes a vehicle, of a device through which to quiet and access something bigger that you're speaking about. Um, anyway, I thought I brought that because I think in a way you did state your opinion about this before, just in the way that you presented that. You gave that that Catholic prayer, or Christian prayer, a very kind of um, automated state. Um, so that I think in a way kind of addresses the question, the very important and curious question that Misha put on the table from the beginning of this space. Um, what do you think? If we start to wrap it up, I see Kim. I don't know if Kim wants to say something, and Kat, if you want to say something else to wrap it up, or if anybody else wants to
I
say.
think Kim has indicated in the chat that she's not able to speak today, but
Okay.
she's listening.
Okay.
Uh, I want to say thank you, Kat and Martha, for hosting this space. I really have to go now, but it was really interesting to hear about the background of the project, and thank you so much. And I really hope that it will get some more eyes on your space or on your collection, Kat. And I think you should definitely promote it even more than you're already doing, because it's awesome and it really deserves to be seen. So
Yeah.
thank you.
And I agree, and I think you're doing a great job, and this is great that you're the way you it's really, this is the beginning of something. Like you said, you put those other collections out there, you were testing things, but you got to this place of clarity with this piece, which is like a birthing moment. And I did yeah, I think there's some other things we can speak about this in private as well, but I'm very very proud of you and really excited about where you're going, and with this. And today was really a I don't think success is like a word that it was a really beautiful space. I really appreciate everybody that was here to participate. Thank you guys. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Mika, for being here, and to the others. Um, and to the
Just
others that are listening that we don't see, and there are others that are going to listen to this later. Thank you all for being here.
Yes, I just want to thank you to Misha, to Kim, to Roberto, to Diego that was here, and I appreciate so much your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you, Marta, for this. You are amazing. Thank you, thank you. So I think with this we finish. How you think, Marta? I think Marta is not here. Thank you, Misha. Thank you, Kim. Thank you very much, Marta. Thank you, thank you, thank you.